Hey, I'm about to review a soap, sample number 4 from Stirling, and I did a blind review just based on the scent, not knowing anything about the written profile or the name, because I thought that would give me a more objective feel for it. And the name of this one is Stirling Gentleman. So anytime I say sample 4, or it is the Stirling Gentleman, which, as it turns out, I really enjoy. The shave we have for you tonight is a Stirling sample, as I recall, number 4. And I like to show things on the camera because sometimes I'll say one thing and then I'll be using the wrong razor or the wrong blade. So if I show it to you, then you know we've confirmed which is the right thing. This is sample number 4 from Stirling. They sent them in the normal sample way, shrink wrapped, and what I did was I hid the name of the whole set of samples, and I wrote them with a Sharpie, and while I covered the name up with my finger so I wouldn't know, and then I put those wrappings I sealed them up and put them away. And so I've smelled them for a few weeks, and after I'm done with the samples, I will uncover the name of each one, and I'll know what they are. Then I can read the Stirling write-up about what the scent is supposed to be. I'll probably pick up on 1 or 2 of the things, but there'll probably be a whole lot in there that I don't pick up on. But at least I know I'm coming at it with an objective mindset. And I did that with 3 chiseled face fragrances. What I wrote down after smelling this for a couple of weeks, and it's really interesting how things come to you, was leather, kind of a mustiness, maybe a tobacco, but in a kind of a good way, and kind of a manly scent, like a manly cologne or something filling in that middle ground. I don't yet know how to describe that. So that's how it smells from in a dry state. So now I'm going to put some of it in my bowl, let it bloom, and see how it smells then. So I am back to my trusty ceramic dog bowl, and I am just smearing the soap on the bottom of it, so I can let it bloom. I used to use, for a couple of weeks, I have been using a steel bowl that had dimples in it that I beat on and created with needle nose pliers, and but it seemed like it had some drag on my brush, on my Badger brush, and it seemed like, there we go, I got that smeared. I'm going to pour a little bit of this distilled water in there, kind of let it get wet. And that steel bowl, it just felt like it was dragging, and my Badger brush, I was starting to lose hairs a whole lot quicker than I normally had. I mean, this is a whipped dog brush, and maybe lost 2 hairs in a couple of months, in 3 months, like one hair a month, maybe less. And I was losing them at a rate of maybe 1 hair every 2 days or something. So that kind of alarmed me. And then I felt the bowl, and sure enough, the steel is, there's some friction and drag on it that I think may be affecting the brush. So I decided to put that down, and I could feel it as I was, not only can I reach in and feel it when the water's in it, but I could feel it in the brush. It was harder to turn the brush. So I'm going to go back to Old Faithful, and I think we're about ready to go. Let's look at the hardware here. witch hazel, unscented, alcohol free, from Thayer's. It's got aloe in it. The razor of choice today is my Parker 98R, as I believe the designation. I'm a little sleepy right now, so it's got the spiral grip there, etching on the grip. Nice head, medium aggressiveness. I'd say maybe mild to medium aggression. I don't really know. That's just my guess. And the blade is a PolSilver iridium, and it is on. This will be its third shave. And something interesting about this, I had a Baby Smooth temporarily until I found it a better home. A Razor Rock Baby Smooth shaver. And I liked it. Used it once. Decided that I had other razors that kind of did the same thing. Kind of. So I passed it on. And that was my first time trying a PolSilver, and it didn't really get my little neck area right here very well. Checking my alignment on the razor. I think it's good. And that shaking off the water here. Whip Dog 24 millimeter, I think. Silvertip Badger. Go ahead and start this up. But on the Baby Smooth, the PolSilver blade didn't really get my neck area very well. And I thought maybe it was because the Baby Smooth was just such a mild razor. But it wasn't, because the second use of the PolSilver blade, and that was the first time I'd ever tried PolSilver. A lot of acclaim for it on the internet. But second time I used it with my Rockwell razor, and it did the same thing. And it did it on a number 4 plate, which is 4 out of 6. Already we have a great little lather, and it doesn't feel as draggy as my steel bowl. And I like the way I can hang on to it better. See, look, that's already got I like it. And so as I finished the Rockwell shave, I thought, well, maybe it wasn't the Baby Smooth's mildness that caused me not to get those neck hairs, beside the Adam's apple. Maybe it was the blade. The blade felt pretty sharp, but most of all, it kind of felt smooth. Maybe the PolSilver is one of those blades that they kind of gear it not to be super sharp like a feather, but to be smooth. Got value to it. I haven't really noticed those as I've been trying out different blades, but then again, I'm not an expert about that. So already we've got a nice wad of yummy white stuff with a decent bit of a sheen to it. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of, I have a cold water shaver, so I can just add it right from the cup instead of having to warm it or anything. My water locally is hard, and so some soaps really benefit. Give me a much better lather if I use distilled water. I don't think Stirling is one of them. So that soap and I smelled it from dry. Gave me kind of leather and tobacco notes. Maybe some kind of other manly scent that I can't identify. So let's try it now that it's in lather. Yeah, more of the same. I wish my nose was better at identifying some of those ingredients. I like it. I really like it. You know, I know that Stirling makes a Baker Street, and I could see this going that way, kind of leather, tobacco, you know, old-timey men's study library, you know. Don't know if that was what they were trying to do with Baker Street, but you know, maybe that's what this is. But that's what I'm getting. I really like it. This is my kind of soap. You can pretty much guarantee that if soapiness is one of the main notes, like it is with so many barbershop fragrances, I'm not going to like it. But this is super slick. Look at this. There's gobs of it, and it's just glistening. Tremendous. I'm just going to shave with this. Good. Good. It's a fragrance that just kind of has character. I like it. I like it a lot. Big check mark. So not really too much coming to me in the lather form that did not already hit me. It's just a little better, more complete. So there's got to be some little accent notes that I'm smelling that kind of help it to be more complex than that I did not smell when it was dry. All right, a little splash of water on the face. My skin is kind of oily, and so I wonder if I ever need to apply any kind of pre-shave oil or if I've just got that built in. We'll see. Someday I'll try it. Now in the bowl, it's nice and thick. When I'm doing the scrub motion, it's kind of thin. Then when I switch to the painting, it starts to thicken up. Maybe that's exactly the way it should be. Maybe that's normal. I imagine a long-time wet shaver could maybe post a comment on the video and let me know if that's true. It'd be nice. I've got a lot to learn. Really like that. Like that fragrance. But one thing is, I wonder if it's a little dry. I wonder if my lather needs a little bit more water. Let's just see how this shave goes. We'll see. This pass goes, the first pass. All right, so PolSilver, third use. No pulling. Feels very controlled, civilized. Kind of a with the grain. Pass right here. I don't feel that the cream is giving me any too much slickness. But it could be doing it and I just don't notice. All right, a little quick water rinse. And now with the second pass. Just trying to get a decent layer down there. Okay. Cross grain pass. The flavor's not, the scent is not super dominant while you're shaving, at least for me, but you can smell it, so that's nice. What are the things I need to focus on? Creating as having a light touch. Need to remember that. Let the blade do the work. Now, yeah, that's my second pass. These hairs here, some of them have been cut a little bit, but they're still there. Cheeks are done. Don't have to worry about those if I don't want to. A little rinse. Stirling is a pretty good soap maker. And though I didn't really feel it with my razor, just now I felt it with my hand pretty well. Slickness. Third pass. I'm going to go ahead and soap up my cheeks anyway. That amount of soap that I used previously, I still have after, this is my third pass, still got an okay amount of amount left, you know, plenty for a fourth and plenty for a touch-up run or two. So maybe I guessed about right on soap quantity. I'm going to do another cross grain. But just in the other direction. My face does not like against the grain. Cheeks could probably handle it okay, but my neck does not like it. So cross grain was here on this second pass. It's going to be the opposite direction as a diagonal on the third pass. Over here, my hairs get all swirly and stuff. So maintaining an exact cross grain route in that area is difficult. And that's probably why those hairs are the trouble spot that I have. It did not. It felt like it got them well, but when I look at it, they're just kind of still there. I'm confident an against the grain pass would fix it. And maybe, should we try an against the grain pass with this one? Why not? So the PolSilver and the Rockwell, the Baby Smooth, and the Parker 98R Ultra Heavy Duty is just leaves those hairs. And now it's in good company. A lot of blades do. Personas, feathers, treats, for me, have been the ones that will get those hairs. Sometimes even after the second pass, not just the third. So, shall I do an against the grain? Why not? It's really the only, everything else looks good, including the spot above my Adam's apple. That's kind of the second worst spot, and it took care of that well. All right, let's throw in a little bit of water and try and against the grain in that one little spot. I might be stirring up some laser burn. But why not try? If this is a smooth, a lot of people speak highly of this blade. But to me, it hasn't been all that special. I mean, it's been okay, but if it can't get that. All right, against the grain, it's going to be in this direction right here. I think that's all I'm going to do. As far as against the grain goes. Doesn't feel too irritated. Yeah, sure enough, that little area that I did ATG is baby butt smooth. Interesting. But I think I could kind of get that with just about any razor. I mean, any blade. The true sharp ones that are going to be my top are the ones where I don't have to do an against the grain pass with. So, all right. Well, So the PolSilver so far from 3 different razors just doesn't impress me too much. I had high expectations because of the fact that so many people online use them. I guess that's why I'm a little disappointed. It's just as sharp as a lot of blades out there, but it's not as sharp as I thought it would be because of the reputation. And that's just for my skin type. Your mileage is going to vary. So, all right. Well, I'll throw on some witch hazel and maybe some balm. I'll be back with you just in case there's anything else to say. So I put on a little bit of the witch hazel. Didn't really sting very much. I don't think I've received any cuts and stuff. So this really may be a blade dedicated to smoothness rather than sharpness. At least that may be how it is, how it works with me. I wanted to just give you some close-ups of the 98R post-shave. I like the classic looks of it. And now here's a easy way to tell between that I used to tell it between the Merkur. Which one is it? I can't remember. It looks really close to this. Is that you can see that the knurling here. There's a little bevel right there. You got the flat area, and then there's a little step up to get to the knurling. And so anytime I reach into where I have my razors, I just feel for that, and I know I've got the Parker. I wish they'd kind of make it flush. I think it would look a little nicer. But on the other hand, I can feel where it is and use that as a way to keep the razor from, moving up and down in my grip. So there's a little silver lining to that cloud. But I'm going to be careful because I still have the blade in there. And then at the bottom, it's got the knurling. It's a 3-piece, and so it unscrews right up there. Very nice, heavy razor, solidly built. Put the blade down. This is a dual purpose event because I'm letting my witch hazel kind of dry out a little bit. So there's the top head and the base plate, bottom of the base plate. Little tour there of the 98R, I believe, is the designation. Happy I got that one. And now just another footnote about the scent. Yep, not really smelling too much other than what I've stated. And, happy with the performance as usual. I think I came really close to not having enough soap in the bowl. Maybe I should have mixed it a little bit more to integrate it better, but really nice fragrance if you like kind of the musty library, manly type fragrances with leather and tobacco. That is my estimation as to what it's all about. And now that my face feels good from the witch hazel, Nivea post-shave balm, I reckon I should show you. It's for sensitive skin. I just bought it because it was highly recommended on the internet as a good value and an effective tool, and I have found that to be the case. And I got it even before I knew that I kind of have sensitive skin. Happy with that. Face really does feel good. Once this lotion kind of settles in, face feels buttery smooth. Very nice. It's nice to be using my Badger again. I've been putting a lot of focus and time into working my bore brush because they have a break-in period. So it's nice to get back on the Badger. I just thought of a reason to buy a few like cheap brushes. If you like to alternate with scents, now if you keep the same scent, then this isn't for you. But if you just like to try a bunch of soaps, one of the things I like to do is pick up my brush during other parts of the day and just smell it. So if you had another cheap brush and you had some scents that were maybe sweeter, you could maybe use a brush per scent genre, so that when you wanted to smell your brush that was kind of the manly cologne dark type scents, then you pick up that brush. And then you're not messing that particular brush up with a scent of almonds, if you switch on over to something sweeter. Now, sometimes I have ideas. So that's it, as I let my face kind of come down from the shave. Stirling, number 4, sample. I'm guessing it's some type of Baker Street or manly office type, leather type cologne scent, which I have thoroughly enjoyed. And I'll put it back in the lineup when I get through the 7 or 8 samples. Then I'll uncover the names and see what it was. Disillusioned a little bit with the PolSilver. I thought with this a little bit more aggressive, moderate type razor that it might step up a little bit more, cut those hairs by the time I got to the end of the 3rd pass, but it didn't. But that's okay. It's all about expectations, really. But it was smooth. I got no nicks or cuts or anything, but I typically don't. And so maybe that's what it's there for. Maybe guys like it because it's smooth, and maybe their skin is tolerant enough to do an against the grain shave, and they've got baby butt smooth, every time. Do I feel any irritation in this area where I did go against the grain? There's a little bit of red discoloration right there. I don't really feel anything. So anyway, for what it's worth, maybe the PolSilver isn't for me, but gave me a nice close shave. So if it was the end of the world, I'd be happy with PolSilver if that's what I had. Anyway, hope this helped you out a little bit. I'm going to go to sleep. Take care.